Warning. The following program contains strong language and subject matter which may be offensive to some viewers and/or inappropriate for children. The content within this program is intended for mature audiences only.
Well, hello everyone, and welcome to Inside the Drag Closet, the interactive podcast where we talk about all things drag and some things that aren't. Who knows? We're really just here to have a good time. We have an incredible episode planned for you this evening. We've got the incredible MARYJAY GARAY joining us all the way from Boston this evening. Of course, I will be joined by my beautiful co-host. You know her and love her, the one and only Amethyst Diamond. And of course, there's me. Let's see. Who am I? Nope, that's not it. Who am I? I am Jade DeVere. I'm a drag artist based right outside of Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. I love the art of drag because it lets me let my hair down. I'll come up with something different every week. It's going to happen. What am I wearing? If only I knew. I am wearing my makeup this evening is Wet n Wild. My eyes are all Kimchi Beauty. This is the Happy palette. Again, I love this palette so much. My lips are, of course, the Lip Bar. My cheeks are Juvia's Place. My jewelry tonight is the one and only Dier Designs. I love this set. I wanted an orange set so badly. My hair is a Webster wig that was styled. It's actually the same wig I'm wearing in a lot of the intro video. And this lovely little thing that I'm wearing, I found in a thrift store. I was like, who wears an orange shrug? You better believe I do, because I absolutely love it. Last but not least, where can you find me? You can find me every other Wednesday right here on Inside the Drag Closet at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Full disclosure, we did start a minute late tonight. Right as we were about to start, my computer crashed. So I had to shut my computer off, come back in. The girls were having a great chat and I was like, okay, time to start. Oh God, I didn't get to do anything before the show. So it's going to be a wild one tonight. So just buckle up, everyone. It's going to be fun. Let's see. How's the comment section already? Amethyst is already ready to go. She's looking stunning tonight, by the way. You kids are not ready. Also, don't forget to share and like the video. The more you share it, the more people get to see it. Daniel, that's right. You are from Boston as well. We'll have to get you two in touch with each other. That'll be fun. Jess is here. Hi, sweetheart. How are you? The beautiful Evelyn Phantasma is joining us this evening. Wonderful. Amethyst reminding you to share the live. I want to share something, and that is some absolute love for our Patreons. If you would like to join our Patreon, it is patreon.com/InsideTheDragCloset. We have a wonderful group of Patreons who keep this show going every other week. And that would be Jake, Jess, Lori, Orion, Corey, Brian, Jeremy, Estee, Josh, Chanel, Daniel, Robin, Vicky, Emily, and our newest Patreon, Hutch. So I want to thank them for helping us fund this show. We don't get a budget from anywhere, so it's them that keep this show going. Did I say that right? That sounded weird, but that's how that sentence goes. Sanika is joining us. Sanika will be on the show in April. August. We're not doing the show in August. We're going to be on a nice little break at that point. But Sanika will be bringing us food that night, so I hope you're all jealous that evening. But I am not going to sit here by myself. I have got to be joined by my beautiful co-host. You know her and love her. We've actually got gigs together this weekend, so let's give a warm round of applause to Amethyst Diamond. Hey, girl.
How you doing?
How you doing?
How you doing?
I am so excited to perform with you this weekend.
It's about damn time. When was the last time?
Like we
when
do
was the last time we got
every
together?
month. Like,
There is that. Yes, but I don't count those. I mean, out of town gigs.
yeah, we haven't done a gig together in a minute.
It's been far too long. It's always so much fun when we do.
I know. And this Friday, they are not ready because that whole cast is incredible.
This Friday, do you have the poster available, or we can just talk? Oh,
That
no,
one.
look at God. So yes, this weekend, this Friday at 50/50 Tap House in Winchester, my good favorite Maryland sister Chastity Vane is the host. We are doing an 18 plus free bingo and a show. We will be joined by not only myself, not only my sister here, Miss Jade DeVere, but also by the reigning Miss Gay Maryland America, Stormy Sky, fresh off the boat, back from nationals. Baby, we have some things to talk about. Things. I hope we have a lot of time to talk about nationals.
Do you want to talk about for a minute? Because I want to
do.
I want to congratulate our new Miss Gay America. Well, she is your sister, so I will let you do the congratulation.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. So many things. And then I'll do my who, what, where. But we got to talk about nationals, baby. First and foremost, congratulations to the wonderful, the beautiful, the stunning Desi Love Blake on capturing the title of being our 52nd Miss Gay America. Talk about Barbie. She is as kind and gentle as she is beautiful. This was her 6th attempt at being Miss Gay America, and she finally pulled it off. She's a wonderful human being, and I look forward to such a wonderful reign from her. I can't wait to work with her this coming year for preliminary competition season. But baby, let's talk about our state here. Let's talk about our great state of Pennsylvania. Let's talk about the fact. Okay, as many of you know, I ran for Miss Pennsylvania and I got second alternate. Our winner, Morgan, took home 2 prizes, not only Miss Congeniality, but the Spirit Award as well, overall at Nationals. However, our first alternate to Miss Gay Pennsylvania made history. Not only did she win interview and talent in her group, mind you, this is the first time she's ever competed nationally. She won interview and talent in her group, and she was also the 4th alternate out of 44 people. She made top 5 her first year here, being the highest ranking representative from Pennsylvania in history. Baby. Right there, Miss Heavens to Betsy Stratton. She is our 4th alternate to Miss Gay America. I cannot stress this enough. She showed up and understood the assignment, and baby, she delivered for us. So Pennsylvania, we're on the map yet again. Baby, it's the curse of the first alternate, I think, in PA, in history, like former history killed it, baby. Yes. So I think some of the former first alternates have gone on to do better than the reigning. But as a whole, Team PA, baby, I'm proud of you. I'm so proud of you. Let's also, baby, I'm going to be here for a minute. So just hold on. We'll talk about my debacle getting to nationals. That was not fun. But I was there representing Miss Gay Eastern States America, Team Eastern States. I was with the lovely and talented Roxy Overbrook. It was her first time there. I was her dresser. I was very blessed to be asked to be her dresser and to share that experience with her for her first time. The fact that I didn't qualify, it really warmed my heart to know that I was still going to be there and backstage with her and helping her on her journey. Can I tell you, out of 44 people, Miss Gay Eastern States America, for her first time, placed 18th overall.
Good for her.
Baby, there were 22 first-time contestants at Miss Gay America this year out of 44. Half of the contestants were first-time contenders, and some of them made it into the top 10.
Wow.
Baby. And I'm going to be here for a minute, sister. Let's talk about third alternate, Princess Prozac. She did Ain't Nobody by Shaka Khan. Revised by Jessie J. Do yourselves a favor. Get on the YouTubes. Honey, type in Princess Prozac MGA 2024 or Ain't Nobody and sit back and watch her entertain you. She is one of the most flawless entertainers I know. I'm so proud of her. I'm proud to know her. I believe she's representing Michigan, I think. Don't
That
hold me to that.
sounds right.
But I believe she's first alternate to Michigan or something, I believe. But baby, there were live singers. Our good sister Ada Vox made top 10.
Mhm.
Like, and she sang marvelously. You know, I've heard her sing the covers that she sang at nationals, but baby, she didn't sing them like this before. She didn't sing them like this before. People were on their feet. I'm so damn proud of her. It was so nice to be there with her. Just that whole week, it's so inspiring. It's
Mhm.
so damn inspiring. I know I'm talking a lot about pageantry, but look, got me in full pageant geesh, baby. That
How
that
could she
got
not?
me inspired, honey, baby. Let's do a little
Okay.
who, what, why. Let's do some who, what,
All right.
why, shall we?
Let me
Hi,
get
everybody. Here I am. I love you. I am Gabergal McGee tonight. I am Miss Gay Gettysburg America Amethyst Diamond coming to you loud and proud all the way from York, Pennsylvania. What am I wearing tonight? Let's start at the top. This is my Miss Gay Gettysburg America city level preliminary crown. This lovely hat right here was made by Joshua Derrick. I don't know where he's located, but look him up. He does fabulous work. My makeup tonight is Queen Bee Beauty. It is MAC. It is Morphe. It is Juvia's Place. It is Dermablend. It is gorgeous. Uh, the jewelry tonight this is by Rocks by Cox, good friend of the show, good friend of mine. This beautiful jewelry set was created for my yellow Coco Vega that I got for nationals. Love it. The bracelets are from Callie Black. And this lovely pin here is from Lucinda Holiday. She is the national jeweler for Miss Gay America. And this is the symbol of excellence. So that is from Made by a Queen. And this very, very expensive frock is from Fashion Nova. Where can you find me this weekend? You can find me in Virginia with my sister over there at 5050 Tap House. Saturday, you can find me on my couch in my sweatpants. And Sunday, you can find me at church at Sushi Heaven in Mechanicsburg. So
We need to have a moment because Sushi Heaven is amazing.
it is. Stay away from the peppers. Blows her right up, honey.
We were. It's true. We were there for Alizé's birthday a couple years ago, and they put some nice wasabi on my plate, even though I said, please don't. I was in the bathroom for a while because my whole face swelled up because I
She
am
was like,
allergic.
something's wrong. I was like, yes, there is.
I don't feel right.
Something's wrong with me. I was like, baby.
Well, girl, are you ready to chat with our special guest for the evening?
Yes, and I look forward to it because she comes to us all the way from Boston, Massachusetts. She is 25 years old, but she's inspired by the older generations, and I think she will have an interesting spin on some very unique topics and very current topics that are in the drag society right now, that have been all over social media lately. So, yeah, sister, bring her on in. Let's talk. Let's chat.
I am super excited. I can't wait for everybody to meet her. So let's give a big Inside the Drag Closet welcome to the incredible MARYJAY GARAY.
Hola, hola. How we doing today?
Hola, baby. How are you?
Blessed and beautiful, you know.
Oh,
We
that's
out
right.
here. We doing the damn thing, aren't we, ladies?
Cash and checks,
Absolutely.
baby. Cash and checks.
Amen. Hallelujah. That's how we do it.
Well, MARYJAY,
Babe.
why don't you give the viewers a little who, what, where about you?
All right. So, my name is MARYJAY GARAY, La Reina de Marijuana, your favorite cripple crossdresser for Christ. I come from Boston, Massachusetts. And you can find me on TikTok, Instagram at La MARYJAY GARAY. And that's Garay, not Gray, Garay. It's my grandfather's name. He immigrated here from Argentina, and that's where we got this last name.
I love
I love
that.
that you incorporate that into your name. That's beautiful.
Of course. He just, God rest his soul, he just recently passed, and I was fortunate enough to take care of him for his last 13 months of life. He had Parkinson's and dementia. And
My goodness.
it was kind of what brought me back to my family biological family. And it really did kind of uh, launch me into the direction of my brunch and, kind of getting back into my drag because even with Parkinson's, even with dementia at, nearly 90 years old, he was a very accepting man, a very loving man. He
Good.
would always get a kick out of me coming in with a new pair of heels,
Ha.
showing them off, breaking them in. He goes, "You do it better than the ladies." And I go, "I know. I don't know
See,
why."
that's beautiful. That's beautiful.
You
I'm
go ahead, hon.
Oh, I was gonna say I'm wearing half of this is my hair, half of it's a little Amazon extension. We growing the hair up for cancer. We want to donate it, but we need to get it to a certain length. So I said, if I'm going to be stuck with this hair, I'm going to utilize it.
Absolutely.
The outfit, all thrifted. We got jewelry, some vintage, some Amazon. We love a good online chippy choppy. As long as they don't make me break out, I'm wearing it.
Right. If it doesn't turn you green.
That part. Listen, I love this color of brown that I have, that good dulce de leche. I don't need it to turn green. I might be the queen of weed, but that does not mean I'm trying to turn into Jolly the Green Giant. Okay?
Baby.
So let's talk about weed. Um,
Yes,
Never
let's.
heard of it.
I I don't have anything to contribute. I've never it wasn't my thing.
Not a partaker. Not once. Not one time.
No.
No, 4 times.
Okay, but it's all right.
Oh, trust me, I gave it a try and I was just like, meh. Oh, there's Tamia in the chat. Somebody say weed.
See,
Yeah,
look,
that's right. They don't
Vince,
call
if
me
I knew
Mary
that-
J for nothing, honey.
if I knew that's all I had to do to get your attention, I'd have been screaming weed a long time ago, ho.
Literally.
Jesus Christ. I ain't heard from her for 47 years. All of a sudden I say weed. What? Huh?
But yeah, no, I'm a big enthusiast of marijuanas. That's actually where I get my name from, Mary J. I didn't want to be your typical Mary Jane, and we all know how in the drag scene, everyone calls each other Mary. So I said, how do I make this Latina? I said, well, what's the holiest name in the Bible? Mary. And I said, and what do I like to partake in? The Mary J. So she's the Mary J, the queen of weed, la reina de marijuana. And it actually has helped me a lot. Not for nothing, this is why I'm such a big advocate of pot. Is I've gone through a lot of physical pain, not only from my heart condition and my stroke, but I've been in too many car accidents, and pot really does help my pain. I'm not out here trying to get the chillins to smoke young. I say when you're old enough, if you're old enough or you can pay for it, one of the two, because and with your own money, not with daddy's credit card.
Right.
Because seriously, it's for a very long time, I grew up Roman Catholic. I grew up very religious. That was the devil's lettuce. You would not catch me touching that before I was 17 years old. And I was having some really bad back pain, and I was working on my feet. I'm a line cook by day, cross dresser by night. And I was on my feet all day, and my coworker was like, honey, you look like you in some pain. I was like, no, I'll be fine. And she goes, I don't condone peer pressure. Take a hit. I took a hit. 7 years later, puff, puff, pass, honey. I always say I am what I smoke, blunt. Okay, if you're going to approach me, come with a Fonto.
I mean, look around. It's being legalized and regulated all over the nation. So they're finally catching on to the fact that it is something that can be beneficial to the people that need it. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I don't hear any argument. Anybody that says, "Oh, it's weed," I don't have time to listen to that conversation.
Yeah,
you bring me
you'd
facts.
be surprised.
Bring me some facts. Show me something that says, oh, because they were on marijuana, they went out and murdered 4 people. The last thing someone's going to do when they're high is want to even get off the couch. So ain't nobody going out there murdering nobody. Like, baby, please pass the Cheetos and shut up. You know what I'm saying?
Give me my water, give me my tea, and we're Gucci.
Yeah. That.
Educate yourself before you come at me, because I'll teach you a lesson real quick.
But you know what's so crazy and what's so funny about it is, because even, in the gay world, I mean, obviously y'all know, but for these kids who don't realize, I've heard these fools come at me being like, ew, you smoke weed? These fools are sniffing poppers left and right. I'm like, I at least have my brain cells left. Girl, I be seeing motherfuckers doing on the dance floor, smoking poppers snorting poppers on the dance floor. I'm like, girl, time and place, time and place. And like not me. Listen,
Never
there's a
heard of it.
reason why I can't like, and you know, even with my experiences with men and with poppers, like I've never been able to do it. Not just because of my heart condition, but that shit stinks. Like I might be Hispanic and that might be VHS cleaner, but that is not what I like to use to clean. I use Fabuloso, okay? Like, cause she fabulous,
You be
fabuloso,
shaking
okay?
up a canister of fabulous.
Yeah.
Like,
Anything but the
I
lavender. You
did.
know, like the lavender gives me nausea
I
and hits me in
can't.
the head.
I cannot. I
Give me that
refuse to
good
accept this,
citrus, the tropical one.
baby. I
So
can't.
we've talked about it a little bit, and I kind of want to go more in depth on it. Can we talk about hypoplastic left heart syndrome?
Yes. So I was born with hypoplastic left heart syndrome. It was I was diagnosed with it while I was still inside my mother, and the doctors basically,
Wow.
my mother was pregnant with me in 1997, and the doctors were like, basically, this is the reality. Your son probably won't make it, and if he does, he's gonna make it to maybe 13, if you're lucky. So like call it a day, make your life easy, and abort this child. And my mother, being a very religious woman, did not believe in abortion.
Good.
So she went to church. She asked the priest, who is still practicing at our church to this day, um, and she asked him to go to Father Dan. You know, what do I do? I was told that my son's not going to make it, and if he does make it, he's not going to live long. And he said, God only challenges us with things he knows we can handle. He goes, take this
See,
child with stride. And like that's why to this day, like I'm still very religious. I still go to church on Sundays. You know, I very much believe in the Lord, because if it wasn't for my mom and her faith, I would not be here. Like I would not be this glamorous bad bitch that everyone knows, loves, and cuts eyes to. The boys be turning heads for, you know, like I can't
you are
help
here
it.
for a reason, baby. You are definitely here for a
Exactly.
reason.
Amen.
Absolutely.
Hallelujah. And that's why I feel
Absolutely.
like there's this like stigmatism against like specifically Catholicism, but religion in general with the queer community and the gay community. And it's like, if y'all can believe in stars, let me believe with a man on a cross. Okay. Like,
Absolutely.
and I feel like that's kind of lost nowadays. And you know, I'm just here to like keep it a buck. Like I keep saying, I am what I smoke. Like I just look at life as I've already had all this negative stuff happen to me. I've already had, you know, been born with this condition. Let me enjoy it, because if I do go tomorrow, I got to be fabulous. I got to live my dream. I got to,
Right.
you know, be the man and woman that I wanted to be. And it's
Right.
like hypoplastic left heart syndrome. Basically, I was born without my left ventricle. So blood was flowing into my heart by the right ventricle, but it wasn't getting pumped out through the left. So my mom decided to keep me. I went through 3 open heart surgeries before I was even 3 years old. And they were like, okay, so good luck. We'll see where this goes. I hit
It-
13 and I was still healthy. I was monitored pretty well, thankfully. Uh, my mom worked for nonprofits like Milagro para Niño, Lions Club, Hispanic Lions Club of Boston. So they were able to help her, and she was able also to learn. And, you know, we both gave back in that way. Like, I still, like, that's part of the reason why I'm growing out my hair to donate to Boston Children's, because if it wasn't for Boston Children's, I would not be here. And don't
That's
mind the
awesome.
nails, the glue wasn't sticking. We got one clawed hand, but that's it.
I'm
But
telling your mom.
I know she's gonna cuss me out. My mom, listen, I might not have a drag mother, but my mother might as well be my drag mother because my mom is very, like, not even competitive. She's just like she's a Gemini. She got two spirits in her. She got two personalities in her. She got the workhorse and then like the calm, you know, quiet church lady. And when those two collide, you get me. No, but
Yes.
but no, in all seriousness, like if it wasn't for her faith, you know, I wouldn't be here. And after going through my surgeries, I was 16, and she was on her first vacation in 8 years. She went on a honeymoon with her, my stepfather, and I had a stroke in art class. So in my brain. So yeah, God loves. Listen, I guess I'm one of the stronger warriors, but he can
You
let
must
up a
be,
little
honey, because
bit.
not even Jesus can kill you. Holy shit.
Listen, she's a holy hoe. Uh,
Woo!
but yeah, no. So I had a stroke at 16, and it was in my brain. So basically, when a stroke happens in your brain, whatever side is on, the opposite side shuts down. So my right side shut down, so it was in the left side of my brain, and I didn't know what was happening. Like I was very for a 16-year-old, I was well versed on medical situations, and because
I'm
I've dealt with
sure.
so much. But like, I didn't expect a stroke. In my head, I'm just doing the rosary. I'm like, Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Like I was like, I guess this is my time. My first death drop, and it's in school in art class, and it's a stroke. Like, cute. Literally, you'll never catch me death drop anymore because I was the first and the only.
Oh, that was an almighty death drop.
Yes, it was. And by the grace of God, again, I'm telling you, I kept my faith in the Lord. I've had, a couple years of kind of trying to see different religions and seeing, because growing up, knowing, especially Hispanic, first generation, both my parents were immigrants, like being gay was not an option. So, and growing up, I was like, I'm already a little brown boy in a white city. I'm already handicapped. Like, why do I got to be gay on top of this? Like,
Right.
why do I got to? And then a drag queen on top of that. Like,
Well, you're
it's
done.
like, I was like, you'll take me now. Like,
You're done,
and
baby.
literally, and it was like having that stroke. I was just, I was in the ambulance. I was praying, and I get to Boston Children's Hospital. They put me in ICU. I was there for 5-6 days, and a
Wow.
bitch came out walking like nothing. Like, you could have put me back in stilettos. I would have been chilling like a villain. Like,
It's
I was
like,
very fortunate, and it wasn't just because of my extensive like history and knowledge on medical conditions and dealing with it, but it was also having faith. Like, I really do
absolutely.
remember like sitting there in that bed by myself. Like, my mom was on a cruise, like stressing her, like
Oh my
getting
God.
grazed over me. The poor thing, she was in the Gulf of Mexico, like couldn't even get to me. And I was just
Oh my
like, I
God.
know it's not my time. I know it's not my time. Like, I can do this. I will get through this. And thankfully through all the doctors and all the nurses, shout out to Boston Children's Hospital ICU. You guys have really, done some magic and given a queen this opportunity to like
Baby.
strut and be fierce, because I really did not know if I was going to come out of that, and especially not thinking I could still be able to twirl and buck and strut in 6-inch heels, and we still
Oh,
doing it,
man.
girl.
You better take it easy,
Like,
sis. You better
oh,
take it
sure,
easy, huh?
that's why you don't see me doing no death drops. The most you'll
No,
get out of me is a
baby.
split. The most. Like, I do my 8 count. I was a dancer for 7 years, so I do my 8 count. I do my little pop, 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 give you a little twerk, and we do a split. We call it a night.
You get the
Do
5,
a little
6,
whip
7, 8,
reel.
and that's it.
Exactly. Pop, 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 pop. Like,
5, 6, 7, 8. That's about all you get.
exactly.
I want to take a minute and celebrate your mom a little bit more, just because we were chatting before the show about how wonderful she is. Cassie has a great quote here: special kids are given to special parents. And that,
Amen.
like, you were talking about your mom and how she wasn't always the most I'll just say open-minded person in the world, and
Yeah.
now she is like your
She's like my
rock,
biggest fan. Like, this woman
That's
comes
beautiful.
to my brunches. She invites her like high school. She's like, my son's hosting a brunch, and if you don't come, that's homophobia. Like,
I
my mom
can't. I
has
love
like
her.
done the full 360, and it's great because it's like, and that's why, I mean, it's not necessarily like a middle ground that me and my mother have come to. It's fully like she went from not understanding and not having the ability, or I guess the resources, not even the ability, because
Sure.
yes, her first language is Spanish, and back in the day, like she was still had that accent, and it comes out sometimes when she's mad. But at the end of the day, like, my mother immigrated here at a very young age, so she also was just going off of what she knew at the time, and being religious and coming from South America. The idea of being gay is not the first, like, oh yeah, chilling, we're cool with that, and it's like,
Right.
there's nothing wrong with that, and it's like, as long as we're able to give these people the opportunity to learn and to understand us, that's
Absolutely.
where, if they don't want to learn, and if they want to be ignorant, and they want to be homophobic, that's their decision.
Absolutely.
But it's like, at the end of the day, if we don't give people the opportunity to learn about our differences, we're not going to be able to breach that gap. We're going to burn more bridges than we do bring them together. Because it's like, you know, my mother was a Bible thumper. Like, she still teaches Sunday school. Like, my mother, like she don't play. Like, she's a very religious woman, but at the end of the day, she realized that her faith in God does not have to hinder her love for her child.
Absolutely
And
not. Quite the
and like,
opposite.
yeah, and she's learned to like embrace me and embrace my drag. And once she was able
As
to
she should.
understand it, like, she was more and more accepting. Like, I'll never forget, it was my first performance at like a real club. Like, before that, I was just doing like my little youth groups, you know, getting in geesh on the last day of school on Halloween. And out here in Boston, you have to be 21 to get into the clubs. But I had already gone out. But the first time I performed, I was 21 because I was like, if I'm going to perform, I need a drink. I need to get the nerves out. And she came and she watched me, because she watched me like conduct this outfit. I like my first performance at a club, I did a costume reveal, a wig reveal, and a jump split. And like my mom was like, I get it. She was like, I get it. You're an entertainer. She's like, you're not a woman. You're not confused. You're not going to change for me or for anyone. She's like, you're living your best life. Because that was the thing. A part of the drag myth understanding for her was that I was a woman. And I was like, no, Mom, God bless me as a man. I'm gonna stay a man. Like, I'm not gonna let all this go to waste. Shit. And it really was. You know,
sorry. Gia? Yeah, that was Gia, all the way from Portland, Oregon, chiming in tonight.
Girl, what you doing in Portland, Oregon? She goes from Salt Lake City to Texas. Now she's in Portland. I'm gonna need you to sit down, ma'am. Sit down immediately. Sit down. Tell me more about Miss Gay New York later in my DMs or something. We'll talk.
That part.
So if anybody has any questions for any of us, like, feel free to type them into the chat. Gia, I'm having, Gia, now I'm stuck by Gia.
No, that's Gia.
Mary J, I am having so much fun. Because Gia just commented. Thank you for sharing your story.
Of course, thank y'all for listening. I really do
that's
appreciate
my good
opportunity.
sister.
Hey, Fez from another mister. I see you.
Absolutely. She's so wonderful.
Speaking of siblings, how many do you have, Mary J?
So, my dad's a dog, and I'm one of 14 in total.
14.
Yeah, so my dad has 3 baby mamas in 3 countries. We have siblings in Europe, we have siblings in South America, and we have siblings in North America. And let for the record show, let the children know, my mother's still the prettiest, and she had the most kids. Yeah, because I'm sorry, I've seen all tea, all shade. Matter of fact, not even gonna front
all tea, all shade.
I've seen my dad's baby
codes.
mamas. They ain't nothing compared to my mother. My mother is 58, looking 35. My mother still gets hit on at the grocery store. They think we're siblings.
Me too.
Like, girl. And when they see me in drag, they're like, "Oh, I see it." They're like, "I see where you get it from." I'm like, "Thank God I look like her and not my father." But yeah, so we're a blended family. So I haven't even met all my siblings because they're in other countries. But my mom had 6, including myself, with my 5 with my father, 1 in her previous marriage. My stepfather has 4 that he brought from his previous marriage. And then I have a brother in Colombia, 2 sisters in Europe, and my nephew was adopted by my mother. Yes. So my mom has raised my nephew.
Good Lord.
He's turning 13, and it's like my mom's almost done. She's like, she's so close to being done with us. And she's just like, I just got to get Max through college. I just got to get this kid through college, and then I'm done with all of y'all.
I'd have gave him to one of the rest of y'all. I'd have done been like, here's your brother. Thank you.
That was my brother. Girl, that's how I learned how to change a diaper, was my nephew. I was like maybe 13 years old. And that's the thing. My mom, being very old school, being very traditional, her mentality was like, you're the only feminine gay one. All your brothers are going to break this child in half. You're babysitting. And I was like, oh, okay. Ain't never taken care of a kid, never wanted one to begin with, but here we go. And mind you, he's 13 now, and he's the funniest, smart ass. He's so sharp-witted. And mind you, his mother, his parent is non-binary trans, and he was raised by his gay drag queen uncle. So of course, you know, this little redhead got some spice to him, got some spice and flavor, and he got a diva in him for sure enough. He would see me go get my acrylics done. He'd be like, "T.O., when do I get to go get my nails done?" I go, "When you make money and you pay for them. I'm not paying for your full set." Like, come on
Absolutely.
now, get out of here.
Absolutely. Get your own job and your own
Yeah.
gig, because it ain't
Lee
gonna be
charges
mine.
a lot. I used to go,
Yeah.
listen, I used to be that gay boy. I used to go get my acrylics done, my French tip acrylics every 2 weeks. I worked at Dunkin' Donuts, and I would bring my nail lady her iced coffee every time I went for a refill. She loved me. She still knows me. She'd be like, "Luca, you still doing the drag, honey?" I go, "Of course, honey bunny. We still out here doing the drag." And she
You
out
know,
here, she learning
sometimes you got to do what you
Spanish.
got to do.
Listen, you bring her that coffee, you don't gotta worry so much about the tip. I don't gotta worry about leaving her at 15. I can just leave her like 10 or 5 and be like, "Here's your iced coffee, girl. Thank you." Like, the struggle be real for all of us.
The struggle, baby. The struggle bus, baby.
Listen,
Struggle bus, baby.
whipping the struggle bus out here.
Struggle bus. Just keep on twisting, baby. Keep on twisting.
And you were saying you're not the only drag performer in the family either.
Yeah,
Really?
I have a sibling who's 6 years older than me. We are actually like they were supposed to be the cutoff child. My mom got her daughter, her 2 daughters, her 2 sons. She called it a day, and then she got pregnant with me. So I don't know if maybe some of their queerness, you know, was left in the womb for when I was conceived, because they're also queer. They're non-binary and trans. He goes by, his drag name is Mauro Cucci, House of Cucci. Shout out to them, all the way in California. And
Yes.
yeah, and like, you know, the Fernandez family just taking over the world out here. We on the East
Baby.
Coast, we on the West Coast. Like, we don't play. And they are just, you know, as talented, if not more talented. They've only started drag a couple years ago, but I mean, they were always a production. Like, growing up, like, me and them were like, we butt heads in the best way, but they also, you know, they were the first family member I came out to. Granted, no surprise to them. I was like, "Mariela, I think I'm gay," and they were like, "Tell me something I don't know." I was like, "Ah!" I was like, "What do you mean?" They're like, "Lucas, you a fruit. Like, we've been known that you were a little Fruit Loop.
You
Like, get out of
fruit.
here with your delusion." She was like, "You out here stealing my Barbies and shit." She's like, "I don't want them. That's why I let you have them." I was like, "Well, here I am thinking I was like monumental, coming out, being strong and brave." And she's like, "Bow, no, like, get over yourself, diva." Like,
Baby.
like, that's the thing. When you come from a big family, especially with a lot of older siblings, you have to have a comeback, a clapback. You gotta be able to say something. And she was only one of 2 girls with a house full of like tough little macho man boys. Like, my sibling played football as a girl and did cheerleading as a girl, like on the same team, same time.
I
And they
know
were like,
that's
"Get
right.
with it, Lucas. Get with it. You're slow. Get to it."
Get it
And like,
together, honey.
and
We're
mind
gonna
you, my
need to
mom
see
was
your talent.
no, literally. And my mom was like, she had me in dance, but that was back when my mom was a little more conservative, and she was like, "No cheerleading, no gymnastics, relax yourself."
Uh-huh.
She's like, "Be happy you breathing, okay? We don't need you having a heart attack
She's like, I
on the
didn't even want
pyramid."
you.
No, literally. But yeah, no, and like even though they do drag as well, like, we are not in the same drag house, and that's like no shade to them. That's no like disrespect, no nothing. They know I love them with all my heart, all my crippled heart. Yeah, Mauro
Uh-huh.
is just predominantly like a drag king, and you know, his whole mission is with drag kings, and he wants to get to a point where he's, you know, able to provide for all types of drag entertainers. But like right now, I know like they just released their calendar, and you know, they're trying to just like start up on their king side of it all before they give more opportunities to the queens and the he's and the she's and the theys. Like,
Well, that's a problem all over the place. Are there a lot of king and like non-binary entertainers in Boston, in the area?
so I've run into both. Not nearly as many kings as I have non-binary entertainers, and you know, entertainers who aren't kings or queens who just do kind of like drag as an expression or a form of
Right.
art. But they're definitely around. Like, you know, shout out to, he moved recently out of Boston, but Tank Top Off, he is an amazing drag king, fine as hell. And
Cool.
Oh, girl, don't get me started. I love me a drag king, a cute trans guy. That's where my heart is.
Oh God.
Have him speak in Spanish. I'm done. Like I
Uh-oh.
can't. I can't. Listen, if you can clap back to me in my tongue, and because I don't have my accent anymore, by the grace of God, between having a French Canadian stepdad who is like super American, like Marine Republican. He comes to my drag shows too, but Marine Republican, very old school, and also just like the Bostonian. I was around the hood, Dorchester, Mattapan, Roxbury. Like my
She's straight up
accent, my
good.
oh yes, my Spanish accent really went gone, and
Good.
like it just became like hood homo. Like it was cute. It was a moment, and like once I realized I didn't have my accent, I was like, damn, I missed it. But when I get mad, I'm just like my mother. My Latino comes out, and I'll speak Spanglish. My last, I mean, well, shit, 3 years ago, but my last ex, he was Afro Latino, and he would always get angry
Hood
with me
mo.
because, oh yeah, but because when
Hood
I
mo.
would get angry, I would speak in Spanish and not even notice. I'd be like,
It
"Ay,
just comes
pendejo
out.
hijo de la gran puta." He's like, "Babe, I don't understand you. What are you doing? Like, calm down." I'm like, "You're Dominican. Why don't you speak Spanish?" Like, and that's no shade to like. Listen, I lost my Spanish because I became so Americanized and because I was not allowed to take a second language or learn Spanish like in school. So like what
Sorry
I
about
learned
that.
at home was I know, right? But from what I learned at home was what I
Really.
learned. And like being Argentinian, our accent is very, our dialect is very specific. And it's more like kin to like Spain. It's called Castellano. And the way we speak, a lot of other Latin Americans don't understand us for shit. And I would have friends who were like Puerto Rican, Dominican, Mexican, and they're like, girl, fix your Spanish. No one understands you. And
The
I've
fuck are
gotten to
you
a
saying?
point, no, literally, they're like, ¿qué? They're like, we don't know what you're saying, girl.
Kick.
And I went to Argentina this last summer, and I get there, I see my family, and I'm talking. They're like, you don't sound like an Argentine. I'm like, what do you mean I don't sound like an Argentine? They're like, your Spanish is like the radio, it's everywhere. And I'm like, great. I was like, my people clocking me, my friends are
Damn.
clocking me.
Damn.
I was like, you can't clock me in drag because I'm at Fish, but everything else, the Spanish, the accent, they get it, they see it. I remember I went to New York to go get my first tattoo, and someone like heard me talking. They go, "You're from Boston, aren't you?" I go, "Yeah." They go, "Figures," and I go, "What's that supposed to mean?" They're like, "The way you talk." I was like, "Oh my god, here we go."
You don't
Like,
speak good like we
yeah,
do.
yeah, literally. I'm like, all right, dick and brick. Like,
What is
and
the
that brick.
scene like in Boston right now?
From what I've seen, from what I've seen from the scene. It's very, it gives a little bit of everything. I'm not like too deep into it, just because between hosting my show, I recently moved, just trying to get my toto together, like trying to
I
relax
might
and not
Toto.
overwork myself. Oh yes, honey, my toto, she on fire.
Toto.
Oh yeah, I got good toto.
I
When
cannot. I'm done. I
a
gotta
bitch
go.
thinks she toto huele.
I am fucking
Uh,
done.
but yeah, no. So Boston, I've been seeing a lot of like alternative drag. There's I've seen like a big rise, or not a big rise, but like a steady rise in more of like a cabaret, strippy kind of singing kind of
Mhm.
energy coming around Boston. But then you still have your
Right.
tried and true, queens doing their mega mix. We aren't as common as like the more alternative queens, but I feel like that's just because of the younger generation. They're wanting to, not distance themselves in a negative way, but be more different from what they see drag is, not only from Drag Race, but what's more considered traditional drag. Like, that's why I always
Right.
say, like, I feel like I'm new school with an old school kind of seasoning, because it's like, I mean, aside from the fact that I'm missing some nails, like, I believe in being head to toe, the nails, the whole ooh, ah, ah of the sensation. Like, you can't just, you know, and again, all drag is valid, but not all drag is at the same level. And that's not to
Baby,
downplay someone's
say it
drag.
again for the people in the back row, down the street, in a whole nother
All
building.
all drag is valid, honey, but at the end of the day, it's not always at the same level. And that's no shade. Like, that's just the truth. And it's
Facts,
like,
facts.
facts are facts, America. America, Latin America, and all the other countries. Fucking Antarctica. Can y'all penguins hear it? Because I'm serious. When I say that I don't go to the club and see the same queens. It's always new queens. And again, I'm only 25. So it's not like I'm out here being like, back in my day. Like, it's not that. And even if I was an older queen, I would still rep it like that. Because at the end of the day, this is what drag does for me. It's that transformation from male to female for me.
Right.
And that's totally okay if somebody doesn't, you know, confide to stereotypically what drag is or what being, you know,
Right.
glamour, like a glamour queen or a fishy queen or whatever. And like even terminology has been changed. You know, I've heard
Right.
that there's been that discourse about like not using terms like fishy, but it's like we were all minorities, like old, young, whatever have you. If you're a person who is queer in the LGBTQIA community, like we're a minority, so we should be able to have that camaraderie with each other and not
We should.
have like our claws out just because someone cracks a joke. If it's in good spirit and there's no malice behind it, there shouldn't be this whole hoorah rah and canceling and everything.
There shouldn't.
Because
There really shouldn't.
it's ridiculous because, you know, even though I'm a young queen, a queen like myself who has an older mentality, who has a more traditional view on drag, is not always going to be hip with the most new terms. And I don't have a lot of friends in the queer community. I don't have any gay family. Like, I am self-produced, self-made. So it's like, I'm not going to sit here and know every term and everything that people want you to know nowadays. I'm going to respect you. And if you, you know,
Sure.
clarify to me and explain to me what it is, you know, and it harkens back to like me having to, you know, teach my mother. You know, she was a Catholic woman who didn't know nothing about drag, didn't know nothing about being gay. And through, you know, meeting her halfway and explaining to her and teaching her these things, there was a gap that was bridged and we have become closer for it. And I feel like there's a lot of infighting in the gay and queer community. And like, obviously there's like the obvious, like with Grindr and all that, but specifically like in the scene, like specifically in the drag scene, there's a lot of infighting, there's a lot of backstabbing, and there's a lot of people judging one another because they don't agree with opinions. And it's just an opinion. You don't have to agree.
You
And
don't
I
have to.
frankly, I like it when I have people who stick around who have opposing opinions, because the real ones know if you can have an opposing opinion of me and we can have like a respectful, civilized conversation, and like just because I use the wrong terminology in your eyes does not mean I'm out here trying to be shady or disrespectful or rude.
Right.
Like, people come from different places. And frankly, as a little gay
Right.
boy who was brown, I was never respected. And two wrongs don't make a right, but I'm not going to sit here and tiptoe around you just because you feel some type of way. But at the end of the day, as someone who was a minority first, like, I can't take this brown off. I don't want to, but I can't take this off. People see me for my skin tone and they're going to react like that. And
Beautiful, babe.
obviously, I'm not super like melanated, gorgeous, like, I'm not giving you like, you know, all the shades, but as a POC queen, you know, and I've even heard people be like, oh, well, you're light skinned, so you have privilege. No, it's not that. When you're
Ain't that a
POC, you're
bitch?
POC.
Ain't that
It's
a
so
damn? Ain't that a damn
ridiculous.
shame?
And they're like,
Ain't that
you're
a shame?
colorist. And I'm like, no, we are all people of color. We've all experienced our own form of segregation, disrespect, racism. And
Absolutely.
it's like, we shouldn't have to have that infighting within a community that claims to be all about bringing each other together and all about
Inclusivity.
supporting one another. Exactly. And it's like, and that's the other thing too. I even have met queens who are white or Italian light skin or whatever, and
Sure.
they're discredited. And I'm like, this bitch is doing the work. I'm like, you shouldn't, just because she's a white queen, discount her, or just because she's not, like, at least for me personally, what I've seen in the scene is like, as a biological man who does drag, I'm discounted because I'm
Yeah.
not one of the dolls, because I'm not one of the sisters, because I'm not non-binary, and therefore people don't have that much of like similarity with me, and they don't. I've had people tell me, I've seen you on Grindr and I thought you were going to be an asshole and you're a sweetheart, because they see the papi chulo, they see the masculinity, and they assume that I'm just some douchebag trying to like sleep with everyone. And it's like, no, like, I'm a person too. I got a heart. It might be crippled, but I got a heart. And you know,
Got
just
one, baby.
because I'm different from the norm or different from the majority does not mean that there's a problem with that. And I feel like, that discounts a lot of queens or a lot of entertainers in general who put in the work, because you have these little cliques and you have these sisterhoods that are predominantly white, and they give the same bookings to the same girls, and you ask for a booking, you don't get that opportunity. And it's like, after a certain time, you're like, well, is it because I'm POC? Is it because I do a Nicki mix and not a top 40 hit, or because I do Shakira? Like, I'm known for my Shakira. Like, you will get me belly dancing my ass off. I grew up on Shakira. She's my she's my Gaga, Beyonce, Nicki, the whole shebang. She's my everything.
I love Ojo
Oh yeah. Listen, Shakira has literally, like, she was the first number I did at a club in Boston was Shakira. Like, I love Shakira, and it's like the fact that a lot of her music is in Spanish, or again, it's not on the top 40 hits, people discount it, and I don't like that. And I feel like there's almost this like mentality of like, if you aren't, part of the sisterhood, or if you're not a part of a clique and you don't perform the top 40 mixes or the top 40 hits, you don't get booked like that. You don't get looked at.
Right.
And I honestly prefer the queens who do stuff, whether it be culturally or just personally, more their aesthetic. Because that's the thing, even with my brunch, like, I tell people, like, I'm looking for queens who do drag because they love drag, not because they want a paycheck, and not because they're just doing it because, they want to try drag and they want to get on every venue and any opportunity. I don't host I host a brunch. I don't host like an open stage. And like, I have my main cast of girls, but I try to include 2 different performers each time. And like, I try to put my foot, in the community, and I try to give back to the sisters. I'm hip. Well, y'all with your podcast, literally. That's why when I saw this, I was like, oh, work, like-minded people. Because it really is,
Let us know when we can come up to Boston.
Girl, come now. I have a 1-bedroom, so you'll be sleeping on an air mattress, but come now. Like,
I can live with it. Bye, everybody. Show's over.
Bye. I have to go pee now.
So we have a couple questions here for you.
Oh, yes.
These are fun too. Like, kudos, Trixie DeFlair. This first question, I want us all to answer this one. Mary, we're going to start with you. Weirdest
Mary J.
Mary J.
We ain't Mary. She ain't gringa. She's Latina. Mary J.
Weirdest place to do a show. Where's the weirdest place you've performed?
I guess my brunch. I work at a Moldovan restaurant, and that's where I host my brunch. And it's like a family owned. It's not chain, and like, they're ironically super accepting. The cooks, they love to see me come into the kitchen and drag, and they're all like, I mean, I think part of it's a little bit because they want a piece, but I think the other thing is just like, it's really funny too, because I work with predominantly, first generation or immigrant coworkers, and we all speak English as a second language. So they're like, oh, Jade, very beautiful. And I'm like, thank you. Like, I'll take the compliment. They think I look like a woman. I look like a woman. Dale. And it's like, I've never had that experience. And I've performed at like some pretty, I've like your typical club, and I've performed at like, some venues that I was like, oh, this is smaller than I expected. But like, yeah, I think my brunch is the weirdest place that I've ever performed at.
Nice. How about you, Amy?
Well, sister. Well, I can't think of the weirdest places. I have performed in restaurants. I have performed on top of a dugout at a baseball diamond. I have performed.
And because of that performance, she doesn't remember anywhere else.
I don't remember that performance. That was a very whoopsie-daisy moment. I have performed at drive-in movie theaters.
Ooh.
I have performed.
I feel like that'd be the key, though.
Right?
It wasn't bad. I mean, it was grass, honey. I performed it in fields. I have performed.
That's why you got the thick and chunky boots, girl.
Baby. I have performed in amphitheaters. I have performed in opera houses. I have performed in people's homes, in their basements, in their driveways.
Oh, that is so traumatizing.
She booked and blessed, though.
Yep.
I mean, hey, I fuck with it. If I could get that many
Yeah.
bookings, you wouldn't hear me complaining. Like
In hotels, back alleyways, not like that.
okay, I was about to say, I love how you knew where my brain went.
Not like that. I don't. I think that's it. I mean, in the middle of the street.
Yeah.
There have
I
been
know,
some
right?
very unique spots. I wouldn't say anywhere overly strange.
Derek just
I've
pointed
gotten
out I got booked
yeah,
for someone's birthday party and performed in their living room once.
yeah, performed in people's homes.
I got booked to do a it was kind of like a bachelor party, but it was two grooms, so all their friends were there, and I was booked to do an adult story time for them. So I sat there and literally read children's books to a bunch of adults because I was like, what do I do? I want to read a kid's book, but then I also read Go the Fuck to Sleep.
I was gonna say that's the
That
best one you could have read.
And they were
Yes,
just dying.
yes, because if you don't know that, oh, Sneaker said a wedding. I performed at weddings. Yeah. Sorry, Sneaker
It's
did
all
that.
good. Um,
Go on,
and
go on.
Trixie has another question, and this is an interesting one that I didn't think of. Thoughts on Miss Gay America opening up a femme category for trans and AFAB performers, but not drag kings?
um
I am grateful for the step in the right direction.
That's where I think the focus needs to be. You know, for 52 years we had Miss Gay America, and it was what it was. It took 52 years for us to branch out and have a new division that opens it up to both cis, non-binary, trans women. So I think it's only a matter of time. It's only a matter of time. If they're going to have icon, they're going to have like at large, you know, there's so many opportunities. I don't think our focus should be on what they don't have, but the fact that they are making positive steps in the right direction.
Yep.
You know
yeah,
what I
I'd
mean?
agree with that.
While I
Yeah.
totally agree with you, I agree with you 100%. Let's collaboratively and collectively applaud the positive. You know what I
That
mean?
part.
Because that way, when that gets put on the table, there's going to be 100% backing behind it. You know what I
Yep.
mean? I agree with you 100%. I truly do.
I mean, I'd
Let's
love to be
let
a pageant queen.
yeah,
I've yet to do it. Um,
don't do it.
I got the gowns for it, but she said don't do it. Well, that I literally
Damn
went.
it, don't do
I
it.
just got recruited by this queen. Um, uh, uh, she just won. What was it? It was in Texas. It was Miss Tropical, I think it was. And my thing is this, like, inclusivity is everything. And I love the fact that people do have the opportunity or are being given the opportunity to, branch out and do, different kinds of drags and fall into different kinds of categories. But I also feel like to some degree, like, I mean, there's a reason why we have like all king shows. There's a reason why we have like on like I did the first thing that popped into my head on Trans Day of Remembrance last year, it was all trans and non-binary at Legacy who performed on the open stage night. And I love opportunities like that because it really does, not only specify who's performing and what you're getting and like if you want that specific kind of drag, then like it's your opportunity to go for it. But also just like the reality that I'm like, go for it, girl. Um, um, bitch made me laugh. I lost my train of thought, but yeah, no, it's like having that um bridge to like let people into different parts of the community is fabulous, and it also should be remembered though that like some entertainers already get such little opportunity, so to be able to because I mean at least from my perspective, obviously I can't speak for like non-binary or trans. I'm a cis man who does drag, but like as a gay guy and as like a POC, like I like when we have, you know, just Latin night or just drag king night, because it gives you the opportunity to see these performers with their peers doing their thing. It's not somebody feeling like they need to conform, because that's something I feel like that happens a lot in at least open stages and in the club scene. Like I said, I'm not a pageant queen, so I can't really speak in terms of like pageantry. And as much as I would love to do it, you know, as someone who's never done it, I have no place on saying who should or shouldn't do it. But at least in terms of like the scene, you know, giving those opportunities to the more conventional kinds of LGBT, because it's like there's all of us. There's there's every letter of the alphabet in our community for a reason. So it's like discounting one to give like trailblaze to the other. It's like this. That's what I was saying earlier. Like as a community, we need to come together, not necessarily like discriminate and pigeonhole one another as just one thing or the other, but still give that opportunity to those people. Because especially, you know, as a young queen who has more of an old school mentality, I I would love to just have like an all like I don't even remember the last time, to be completely honest, that I met another cis man who does drag. They're
Mhm.
always non-binary, and I live for I live for the dolls, I live for the theys and the he's and the she's and everyone in between. But like it's like the conventional has become unconventional and has become uncommon. So it's like by all means inclusivity is what matters, but like let's also not just erase people's, you know, what they were raised on, what they were built on, and as long as it's still respectful and, you know, doing its due diligence for the community, that's what really matters. Not, you know, like Amethyst was saying, like not harping on the negative, like, oh well, they don't have this. And it's like, well,
Mhm.
they're trying, they're giving
Yeah.
people opportunities, they're taking those steps. Rome was not built in a day. Okay.
What is your thought? And um, just with what we were talking about, just something I've noticed, and I don't mean this to be about anyone in particular, but just something I've been noticing over the last couple of years. What is your thought on Latin nights that don't have exclusively Latin performers?
um I mean, I've at least here in Boston, I've yet to see that. um my thing is this: if you're willing to work within, because that's the thing. Look, at the end of the day, like we're all, like we're men in wigs, we're women in wigs, we're people in wigs. We are not here like curing cancer. I was saying this earlier, but like it's those moments of like, if you're coming to Latin night and you want to perform, do the Latin number. Do Beautiful Liar,
Right.
Shakira and Britney Spears, Shakira and Beyonce. Like meet people halfway. It's like
Right.
I'm a Latin queen. I'll still do Nicki. I still do, you know, rap. I still do white artists. Like I did Kim Petras and Nicki Minaj like a couple months ago.
Oh.
Like Slated, by the way. But yeah, no, nevertheless, like, you know, people in our community were, like I said before, like we're all a form of minority to some level if we're in this big LGBTQ community. If we're in alphabet soup, honey, we are a community and we should be able to uplift one another and not, you know, have an issue every time somebody does something. Obviously there's like lines that should not be crossed. But the reality of it is it's like, if you like, I would love to see a white queen who lives for Shakira the way that I live for Shakira perform Hips Don't Lie. Because if you can belly dance and you can serve it and you can give us that energy, mami, dámelo. Like it
That
really
actually
is.
that kind of covered Lola's question here. Some queens who aren't Latin and turn Latin numbers. I was
Some
booked
queens,
at a Latin night years ago, and I was the only one in the dressing room who didn't speak Spanish. And it was so beautiful and so wonderful to be included. And I was just like, am I in the wrong element? And they were like, no, you're fine.
no. Well, because I feel, and we were talking about this, you know, before before the live started. It's like this newer wave of queer and LGBT and nightlife has gotten very sensitive and has not really let people take the piss out of it anymore. Like we're drag queens, like we're drag performers, like we're not here, like I said, curing cancer. Like I do drag because I love to perform, because I'm a pretty bitch and because at the
Right.
end of the day, I love the transformation. I'm not doing
Mm-hmm.
it to become the president or to let my voice be the whole voice for every drag queen or every Argentinian or Venezuelan drag queen. That's not my that's not my plan. That's not my prerogative. My prerogative is to enjoy myself, to express my art, and it's like I feel like these new age kids take it way too seriously, and they want like a role model out of everyone, and it's like, honey, my nungas are all the way up in my stomach. I
No,
cannot
Nunga.
breathe, bitch. I'm in a corset. I'm doing this for y'all's entertainment and my satisfaction.
I
So
just
it's
learned
like
something.
yeah, nungas, yeah, nungas.
Nungas.
They're down there. They hang. Um,
And not.
uh, and it's true. It's like I have, like I said, I have hypoplastic left heart
Nungas.
syndrome, and I had a stroke at 16. I have better things to do than worry about like the PC-ness of my drag. I'm never out here trying to disrespect or make someone feel bad or hurt someone's feelings. But at the end of the day, like, you stick your dick in pantyhose and tell me you're gonna be happy. Like, no.
Nungas. You were called
Like,
Nungas?
And that
nungas,
is the quote of
your
the night.
nungas.
Nungas.
Like,
And
Oh,
you got your
PC-ness.
toto?
I
You got
love
your nungas?
PC-ness because it sounds like penis.
Penis. Yeah.
My PC-ness and my Nungas.
Yes, that part. Well, you know what? No. Listen, I'm a culinary queen, so I call it my morcilla, my
I'm
blood
dead.
sausage. Yes, because I'm
I
Argentinian,
love
so
that you love food.
Oh, girl, I used to be 210 pounds. I was a big bitch for
I
someone with a
still
heart
am.
condition. Girl, work. Yeah, but are you tall? I mean, minus the
Thank
heels.
God. Otherwise, I'd be round.
Well, that's the thing, girl. I'm 5'9" with a heart condition. I was a pot belly pig, bitch. Like
Baby,
I look like the
I'm not
heftiest
on
hoe.
hormones, baby. You know what I'm saying?
Nah. Listen, Timu, $40. Like,
Baby, this came
oh,
from
girl.
McDonald's and this one came from Burger King. All right.
Exactly. And the thighs, Wendy's. Oh, I love it. I love it. But yeah, but this is what I mean. And this is why I was so excited to do this live with y'all, because y'all being older queens, y'all coming from a different generation, y'all get where I'm coming from, where it's not a place of malice. It's not a place to argue just to argue or to be different.
Right.
I could give a fuck less about being different. I've always been different. So
That
it's like,
part.
I'm just giving my opinion. And I feel like a lot of young and new aged queens don't see it the same way, and they want to police and clap at each other. And I'm like, girl, like, first
stop
it's
it.
off,
not that serious.
It's
yeah,
not that
like,
serious.
it's not that serious. And also, like, these are the same girls that complain about bookings. These are the same girls that want to say that they want opportunities. And I'm like, okay,
Right.
but then you want to clap at everyone, tell them what they're doing is wrong. You want to sit here and tell me that because I said something that you aren't aligned with, that I'm a bad person. Like, girl, bye. Like,
Right. Who
if
has
that's your
time for all
mentality,
that? Who has time for all
exactly.
that? And if you don't know the difference, when someone speaks to me, I know their tone. I know when they mean to hurt me. So when they say something that may not be PC, I know their true intention based off the delivery. And if you
But
don't, you're too dumb to have an opinion about it.
but that's what these younger kids are
Write that
like.
down.
These
Oh,
younger kids want to always make that a point that, oh, well, you speak like this and you're not supposed to. Oh, well, you should. First off, the irony of it too, it's always under 21 white. And I'm like, I'm only 25, sure, but honey, between the stroke, the heart condition, my dead lover, like, I've dealt with it all. So you're not going to sit here and tell me how I should live my life if I'm not telling you how to live your life. Like,
Hello.
yeah.
it's very, I don't want to say frustrating, but it's like it's agitating, because it's like, I'm here to have a good time. I'm here to like be an entertainer, be entertaining, sell the tickets, sell the
Oh,
No, come back.
I'm
Well,
going to
now
get
I'm
for
gonna
a
have to
minute.
sit here. I'm gonna have to sit here and eat these Ritz crackers and talk to you.
Right? Here, we're going to sit here. Welcome to the new mukbang. And
Watch us eat. That's how I got
she might
both
need to
these
plug her
videos.
phone in. So, there she is. All right.
My bad.
She's
Someone
back.
called me.
Somebody called.
One of my homegirls called me. I was like, and I have these fucking nails on. I'm like, bitch.
You're
Girl,
right.
get those titties under control. One of your boobs is out. For clarification for our viewers, that is a breastplate. So
Yeah.
that was not.
These are not real boobicles.
Yeah, they're not real boobicles.
That was her little Hershey kiss.
Can be found on
Exactly.
OnlyFans.
No,
Yes.
not even. I'm a man of God. You will not find me on OnlyFans, girl.
No, you won't.
Listen, it's Wednesday. I gotta get ready for church. I gotta pick my outfit.
So we do have 4 more questions.
Go for it.
These are some great
Let's do
ones too. Eve Brown wants to know, what is your dream drag performance if you could perform anything for any audience?
Ooh. I mean, to be completely honest, I kind of already live like what I do now, I would consider living my dream performance, because I get to host my own show. I do a Shakira number if I want. I do Beyonce if I want. And I do it in the city I grew up in. So it's like, even for the bitches who didn't live for me, even for the bitches who didn't like me back in the day, I'm proving them wrong and I'm enjoying myself and getting paid doing it. So it's like anything Shakira, anything Latin, just like repping. Because obviously, like, I'm Venezuelan Argentinian. I'm not Colombian like Shakira. But it's like, I feel like being a Latina queen, I rep, you know, from Mexico into the Caribbean, all the way down to Argentina to Spain. Like, I give you Latina goddess, and like that's what I live to do. And it's like, I don't care if it's a club, it's a brunch, I don't care if it's, you know, in a backyard. If I get to perform my art, that's me getting my life. That's me living my dream.
Love that.
How about you, Amy?
So for me, people often label me a storyteller. You know, when I perform, I don't like just to come out and lip sync to somebody else's music. I want to incorporate the story of the song that I'm doing into my own life and tell that version of my story based off somebody else's art. You know what I mean? That's how I look at performing. For me, you know, I'll be 44 next month. You know, I'm turning 44, and baby, I've been blessed my entire life. I've been through the worst of times. I've experienced the best of times, and I'm grateful for each and every detail of both of those factors because they make me who I am. So
Amen.
I grew up in nightclubs, you know, in the mid to late 90s and early 2000s. I was on a dance floor. I was in front of a speaker. I was inspired by oceans of emotion of bodies on a dance floor, by lights, by bass. So for me, the most ultimate performance for me is to perform in the middle of a huge nightclub, a dance floor, to be lowered from the ceiling and to be performing Everybody's Free by Rosala, and just have the music and the fabrics and the fans and just a unity of love that would just blow my mind. I would love to be able to do that in front of hundreds of thousands of people who are just there for the purpose of love.
Amen. Hallelujah to that.
That's fun. I want to do a show. Like, I want to do my own one-person show. I've been working on it for a while. I get to workshop parts of it at the New Jersey Renaissance Fair this year.
Hey.
But yeah, I'm excited about that. Oh, I love that Aurora chimed in on this. She just did a Latin night and did a J-Lo mix, and people just loved it. Like, didn't matter that like she was Caucasian. They just were there for the show, and that's what we were talking about. Like,
right?
Yeah, because like. And that's how it should be. Like, we as a community have the opportunity to bring each other into our own worlds.
Right.
Like, you know, for every like stereotypical, you know, thing about a gay guy or a lesbian or a bisexual or a trans, whoever, you know, there's 1,000 great things. So it's like, if we don't pigeonhole them so tightly and take everything so personally and give opportunities to people who just want to do it for the love of drag, like we should have that. We should have that kind of unity. Like,
just celebrate.
I mean, shit. We're
all on borrowed time.
Yeah,
that part.
Just
like
celebrate.
With my brunch, even I told Queens, I was like, listen, if you comfortable doing it, like for my April show, because April's my birthday month. The brunch is 2 days before my birthday. I was like, listen, brunch is about me on April 28th. So if you want to do a Shakira number, if you want to give me some, early 2000s YouTube mix, something cute. Like, give me that Latina flavor that you think I give, because it's like that's the thing. I like mimicry is the best form of flattery, and it's like at the end of the day, if someone wants to do something that is, whether it's your culture or it's your language, or it's anything that is would be considered like just somebody's or just one culture's, if it's respectful and it's done well and it's done like I call her my second mother. She's this like maybe 5'1" little Indian woman. She's my hairstylist. She cuts my long hair. I don't let anyone else cut it but her. And she like looks at me as her son, and she tells me all the time, she's like, I would love for you to do a traditional Indian number. And she was born in India, and she teaches traditional Indian dance. And it's like, she's told, like, I literally have been gifted, clothes that are traditional Indian garb to perform. And it's like,
That's
I feel like because everyone is so sensitive and everyone wants to point fingers at who is PC and who isn't, or what's appropriate and what isn't. If someone in that culture, in that community, is encouraging you to do it and knows you're not going to do it with malice and you're going to do it with love and respect, that's what matters. Especially as like a belly dancing queen. That's why she gave me those traditional Indian garbs. She's like, you would look amazing belly dancing in this. She was like, you would give the children life.
That's awesome.
Like, she's come to my brunch and she's like a 50-something-year-old little Indian lady with a heart condition, and she's like, I gotta go support my gay son. I gotta go watch his brunch. Like, I've been very fortunate to be surrounded by a lot of great women of color who, have taught me that, what's serious is paying the bills, okay? Not what makes you happy. If what makes you happy, who gives a fuck what it is? Like, as long as it's not hurting nobody, like, do it.
I love that. We have 3 more questions and about 12 more minutes. And then we're going to get to Derek's helpful drag tip, because
all right,
it might have to do with something we talked about already. Daniel would like to know, what is your favorite venue to perform at?
Ones that pay me. Bitch, you took that right off my tongue. How about it?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
The ones that the check clears.
Yeah, exactly. Listen.
I don't know, favorite venues, anywhere my sisters are, anywhere my family is. You know what I mean? Like, I performed in the tiniest of spaces, but if I was there with my friends and my family and my sisters, it was what it was.
Yeah. So. We used to perform at a little place called Shrimpies in Rehoboth. Cute little venue. The dressing room was not great.
Was the size of this screen.
Yeah, basically. But it was a great venue, and it was always so much fun. Sadly, they don't do shows there anymore. I don't know details. I don't need to know details. But yeah, that show was always absolutely delightful with the incredible Julia Sugarbaker.
I got to spend all last week with her. She was at Nationals with us. And speaking of Sugarbaker, we actually went by Julia Sugarbaker's house. The house that they used for the show is in Little Rock, Arkansas. So, yes.
That's awesome.
Go on my Facebook if you want to see it. It's on there. Any fans of the show? 2
more questions. Eve wants to know, are there any things that your health had affected in terms of how you perform or choices of venues?
That's for you, sister.
Completely. So choices of venue, not necessarily so much. I was a little gay boy practicing in heels as soon as I could steal them out of my mom's closet. So the physical aspect of like, performing somewhere, I don't care if it's grass, gravel. I wear a good, thick, sturdy thigh high, so I'm able to perform. That being said, you're not going to catch me doing an 8-long-minute mix. My heart condition basically causes me to, and as healthy as I am for someone with my condition, I'm still not physically as able as, someone without a heart condition. So like, you're not going to catch me doing, 10 cartwheels and a backflip and a this and a that, partially because I'm not flexible that flexible, but, also because I have to pace myself. If I get winded too quick or, if I do too many, whether it be like reveals and like just like hype my own self up way too quickly, I will burn out and you will catch me like heaving and hoeing, like barely being able to catch my breath. And it also, determines how like fit and healthy I am at the time. Like I've done drag when I was like 140 pounds and, you know, a lean, mean monkey machine. And I was still able to do the spins and the dips and all that. But then, you know, like for instance with COVID, when I gained the COVID weight, you were not going to catch me doing no jump split. You were not going to catch me, you know, overexerting myself. So it's really just, you know, working within my means. I mean, like even in my home country of Argentina, like they've interviewed, like doctors and hospitals have interviewed me because they're like, how are you alive? They're like, you have half a heart and you're cross dressing in 6-inch platforms doing splits. What the hell? And I'm like, don't forget that I work in a 110-degree kitchen. Well, no, there's not even like a sense of homophobia. It's like shock. It's like, because literally like in third world countries like Argentina, like Venezuela, people do not survive with my condition. And even in America, like I'm fortunate enough to not have any severe underlying health conditions from my heart condition initially, but you know, people with hypoplastic left heart syndrome are stuck with oxygen tank. They have like the heart monitors inside. They have to do, you know, they always have to be like cautious. And like even my doctors here in America are like, they would prefer I don't work in a kitchen, you know, where it's, you know, hours are crazy and it's super hot and like especially during the summer. But you know, I make it work because I would rather enjoy my life to the fullest and die young than live to a very old age and be miserable. The good die young, they say. So hey,
live your life. Live your life, honey. It's okay to be cautious, but live your life.
Exactly. And like that's the thing. I always say I'm not optimistic, I'm not pessimistic. I'm realistic. I look at life through the fact of I've dealt with so much. I've lost, you know, even just for 25, not only have I lost a partner, but I've lost 3 friends. I have them on my shoulder. Their dates on me. That was my first tattoo because I wanted to commemorate these people. And I would tell myself, if I'm not living for me, live for them. Because, you know, they passed when I was 15, 17, and 18.
And you're still here.
And it's like from losing my grandfather to losing my partner to, you know, just dealing with constant medical issues, I recognize that like life is way too short to be like hell bent on, you know, not living it to the fullest and worried about what other people do. Like that's why I do drag. I'm enjoying myself every time I put on a red lip and a pair of boobs. Like
which kind of leads us into our next question. And it's from my husband because he's an absolute instigator.
Work.
But this is a good one. Mary J, you said you're interested in doing pageantry, so here is your first on-stage question. What is your biggest fear or reservation coming into tonight's interview?
I would say that my biggest fear about coming into the interview was being on time, because it takes a lot of time to look this pretty. And
there it is, baby. There it is, right there.
Like giving you business hooker attire for a reason. I said I could slip this on real quick. Let me get into the mud.
There it is. See, and you know why that would be an on-stage question? Because it was a real honest answer. And you weren't like, well, if I were to think about it, I would say that. And then, yes.
That's amazing. I think
so what's his drag tip for tonight?
Oh, Derek's drag tip? All right.
Let's do it.
So as everyone knows, my husband is a show director. And, you know, sometimes he has tips for performers. Sometimes it's tips for the audience. This one is a tip for performers. And it is probably the longest drag tip he's ever written. So,
for God's sakes, Derek.
I'm going to take a deep breath before I dive into this.
All right, go ahead, sis.
Derek's helpful drag tip. No one is obligated to create opportunities for you as a performer based on your relationships, location, years in the game, or desire to hit the stage. Also, no one is obligated to provide a space for you to grow. Drag is wildly oversaturated right now, and for most shows to stay afloat in this current economy, they need to utilize the most electrifying performers they can afford, and even that isn't enough sometimes. It isn't fair, but unfortunately, That is where we are right now. Only 10-ish years ago, there were tons of venues and a limited pool of performers because drag wasn't cool or in, even within parts of the LGBTQIA plus community. It was easier to be a newbie or a hobbyist then, but it looks like those days are long gone. Instead of coming after these struggling shows and their promoters because you aren't getting booked, maybe take a look in the mirror and ask yourself how you can make yourself more bookable. Ask promoters and local legends what is holding you back, and above all, be willing to take critique. If that doesn't work for you, make new shows.
Get a new
That
wig.
part.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Baby.
I completely agree with that because
Yeah.
I mean, like I said earlier, like I might not be booked and blessed, and you know, even in the little bio that I sent y'all, you know, I have had to make lemonade out of lemons. I did not expect my job to give me that opportunity to do a brunch, but guess what, baby? We keep selling out, and my boss, he likes money signs more than he cares about homophobia. So he's like, you know what? If you're bringing in a business, keep doing your show. I support it. I respect it because entertainment is entertainment, and when you're able to just say a name and have that association, it's like Cher or Beyonce. You just need that name to know that's going to be a show. So it's like, be that queen, be that
Absolutely.
entertainer. Because it's like, yeah, no, not all of us are booked and blessed. Not all of us have sisterhoods or come from big drag families that have our backs. It's like some of us are just working girls that, you know, have to put ourselves out there. And for every 100 times that we get told no, we're going to get told yes eventually. And that's why you keep putting yourself out there and you don't give up.
Yep.
That is so true. And honey, these opinions are going to be very extremely unpopular, but I can guarantee you one thing, they will be the truth. So when you have to sit there and blame other people for the fact that you're not being booked, if that doesn't tell you why you're not being booked right there, look in a mirror.
Mm-hmm.
If you are complaining about not being booked and you don't have professional photos to provide for promotional use, if you have not gone to support the shows you'd like to be in, if you do nothing but negativity on social media, and you still have to ask yourself why you're not being booked, there you go. There you go. If your bathroom selfie is the best you can do for the show producers and promoters and supporters out there who spend their hard-earned money and time paying your bills, and the best you got is your bathroom selfie, ask yourself why.
And there are so many people who go to shows who bring cameras. Just say, hey, can you get a quick picture of me? Like,
Simple as that.
phone. These take incredible photos. Like,
They do.
Have someone hold your phone, take a head to toe, make sure you got a nice background behind you. Like, I have this weird story. It's a green screen. I don't care.
I have an SC, girl. My phone don't take that good of it. I got one camera. I don't have 5.
She got a Polaroid.
Even
She got a Polaroid.
Yes. Listen, girl. It's somewhere in a box. It's somewhere in this apartment in a box. Like, we just moved in here at the beginning of the month. So, like, there's still...
Right.
I had a different outfit idea, and I was like, can't find it. Guess what? We're doing the white hookup. Like, we're doing white business hookup.
But like, seriously, there's so many...
There's so many shows out there. And, you know, if you're going on social media, kind of going at other shows, look what your social media is saying right now. You've just made yourself untouchable because show producers are now like, I'm not going to book this person out of guilt. That's not
exactly.
This is a business. It's a fun
and especially
business.
It is a fun business, and it's one that is under a lot of criticism and a lot of struggle right now. There are shows that have been around for years that are hurting for ticket sales right now, based off the economy, based off social media, based off what the negativity that's being put out there about our people and what we do. You know what I mean? So the last thing we need to do is to be fighting each other from the inside. You know what I mean? And honestly, drag is a business. This is a business. I do this for a living. This is a business. So if you think that I'm going to put anything less than 100% perfection on the line, you got the wrong one. You know what I mean? Look,
No,
I'm sitting here
literally.
on a Wednesday night. Granted, I ain't got no nails on, but clock it.
Yeah.
I wish you would clock somebody. So, like, I take this very seriously. You know what I mean? So it's very offensive when certain people come and they're like, well, I'm not getting booked. I'm not doing this. Well, hey, look in a mirror. Step your game up. Step your pussy up. Do what you got to do. Okay?
And it's not
Because
only that though. It's the
you got to be
queens
on a
who
certain
want.
level, hon.
But here's the thing too. It's the queens who
Sorry
want to
about
be
it.
booked. No, girl, don't be sorry. Go off because it's true.
Sorry
You're
about it.
speaking straight facts. And this is the other thing too that I've noticed. There are performers like, and it's not even a matter of like a specific person or anything like that. I've just noticed that ever since I started hosting my own show. Two things. One of them is that
Give me
once
a
I started
clap.
hosting my own show, people wanted to come and wanted to perform for me and wanted to get paid and booked and blessed, but ain't nobody ever, helping a sister out in that sense. Like it's tit for tat. Like we are a community, we work together. If you're gonna ask for opportunities with expectation of payment and all that, bring something to the table. Don't just, especially if you're not going to serve the kind of drag that queen is serving at that level. Because I mean, granted, it's a bias because it's some of my family who make these comments too, but I also have
Sure.
my what are they called? My patrons of my show who say you're the most put together, or your dress is the most head to toe, or your whatever, or your number made sense with your outfit. It's like, take the time to have the concept, but then also, and this is like the second part, don't sit here with a drag that is of a certain class or of a certain type and expect it to be palatable for every single show. It's not.
Right.
And I'm not knocking the girls who like to strip down to the pasties. I'm not knocking the live singers. But guess what? If it's a drag brunch, daytime drag, don't be coming out here looking like who did it and why, performing some boho ass number, not giving 110%, and then being like, where's my payment? Like, you don't know. Like,
nobody owes you nothing.
Show up for the job that you want. Show
That part.
up for the work that you want. Because even when
That
it doesn't
part.
come to drag, as someone who's worked in the culinary industry 10 years, I am a 5'9" gay man. Okay, you think anyone takes me seriously in that kitchen? I had to earn that shit. And the same thing comes to drag, especially if people are trying to make a business out of it and how oversaturated it is. Because we can sit here and say, well, it's because drag is becoming more popular because of Drag Race. No, drag has always been a thing. It's just now people want to make it a point to, oh, look at me, look at me, look at me. It's not actually that they're entertainers. They want attention. Or they want a drink ticket. Like it's one of the two. And it's like this is not a quick buck. Like, I spend $100 and something on a look to make 50. And I'm well aware of that. Why? Because I'd rather be head to toe and look put together than throw on that same top with that same fucking platform with that same skirt and do the same 8 count. No, I put like certain dance moves and choreography into certain numbers that I do. You will never catch me in the same look. You will never catch me. And if you catch me in something similar, it's changed. It's vamped up. And then also the queens who, want to buy, because don't get me wrong, bitch, I'm a Fashion Nova girly too. Like, you will catch me in a cute fashion. Exactly. That's why I said it. But it's like, us queens and the queens who take it seriously elevate it. We don't just throw it on and say, okay, here's my look. No, you need to give it life. You need to give it character. You need to give it that essence of a queen or of a king. Is that girl with my white bangles, with my gold and diamonds, because we're extra, because we're drag queens. With every gold necklace, chain, hookah that I have, with my titties sitting oh so nicely, like
so wonderfully.
I'm in head to toe drag and I'm sitting down, girl. Like, hello, like
She came ready.
Committed.
I won't stand up because I'm in sweatpants, so we ain't gonna have that.
I mean, girl, these are comfy. I don't have to tuck in these, but nevertheless, we are committed. We are committed, and that's what matters in drag. And it's giving that 110%. It's not showing up for the gig. I mean, here's the thing: drag time is drag time. Drag queens are always late. That's never going to change. Doesn't matter how professional people get. But at the end of the day, if you're going to be late, show up correct. If you're going to be late, look the part. Be that bitch that's so shapoppin' that there's a reason why you were late. It takes all that time to be stunning. Like,
girls I'm going to walk in and they'll be like, oh,
looking like Boo Boo the Fool. Like, girl.
Well, Derek, both Matt and Derek bring up good points.
Yes.
Matthew says, if you want booked, maybe come to a show as a guest and maybe the person that does the show will book you. And I get if it's like a brunch and it's a higher ticket price, I get that. but network. Don't just sit on social
Network.
media tearing other shows down.
Exactly. The amount of networking and socializing I have done since I got home from Miss Gay America, it's not even funny. Reach out, find people's schedules. Say, you know what, I would like to come support your show. Could you please tell me when you perform? And then after you do so, maybe once, maybe twice, you can actually go as far as asking them to be in their show. But
Yeah.
go ahead, sis. Go ahead.
Derek says, why is it drag is the only form of live entertainment where people don't feel like they should have to audition or pay their dues? Try that with Major League Sports, Broadway, or Hollywood. Good luck. It's true. And it's this social media, or it's this reality TV world that drag has created. I'm not going to blame Drag Race for it. I'm going to blame what people think it has become, because like even on the newest season, there's a girl that's been doing drag a year. And I'm like, does that hurt my soul? A little bit, because it's jealousy. I'll be very blunt. It's jealousy. I auditioned for that show 9 times and was not the one. But girls that have been on, like when Shangela first got on, she had been doing drag for 6 months. And I'm like, maybe it's just me. It's knowing what you can do. So I know my worth. I know what I'm capable of. I will show up at a gig. I will perform some Weird Al and I will make everybody laugh. That is my gig. Like,
and that's the thing, conforming for someone else or for the pity or for the booking is also not a good drag queen make. Bitch, because at the end of the day, it's like code switching that you don't need to do. Because I'm sorry, if you're going to sit here, especially the queens who love to get, you know, emotional and feel some type of way about their feelings, like, this is my art, this is my thing. Okay, so why are you willing to edit it for a show? Be you 110%. Because at the end of the day, listen, I know I'm not everyone's cup of tea. I know not everyone speaks Spanish and likes Shakira and, you know, lives for that kind of drag. It's my style and I'm not going to change for nobody. And the same way that you'll see me doing my Shakira number is the same way you'll see me doing Nicki. And when I do Nicki, I give you Nicki Minaj. I'm padded for filth. I fucking have the buns and the chopsticks. I have the whole geesh on. And it's that kind of commitment that people need to recognize.
Yes, baby.
Because I'm not going to give someone a booking on my brunch if I know that all they do is strip down to their pasties or they don't, you know, give me va va boom. That's not to say their drag isn't good. It's just not for me. And it's not any bias or prejudice against them. I have a daytime show. I have a show that the windows are all like the wall. Everyone can look in. And I don't need, you know, some 10-year-old walking by with their parent for then some bigot to be like, this is why drag should be abolished.
Right.
Like, no.
Don't give people an opportunity to come at us.
Exactly.
I did a show once.
Say it again. Say it again.
Yeah.
You can live your truth and you can live your fantasy. Number one, people pay to see a fantasy. You know what I mean? People pay to see an illusion. They don't want to see this stick in a wig with lip gloss on. Said what I said.
Amen.
You know what I mean? They pay to see a fantasy, and you have to be able to gauge your performances professionally for you to be taken seriously. If you are at a brunch on a Sunday morning and it is near a church and people walk by, you want them to see that we are about love and light and not about stripping down to pasties and a thong. That's not what we're about.
And
you know what I
guess
mean?
what?
There's a time and a place for it.
Exactly. There's a place for it. Go to the
Y'all getting me excited.
And that's not me booting out any queen because I don't think, or king because I don't think they're good enough. It's not that you're not good enough. It's
it has nothing to do with
place. Exactly. But that's the thing. These younger queens want to take everything personal and to heart. And I'm only 25, and the fact that I'm saying younger queens is saying something.
Exactly.
And that's sad because it's like it's true though, because I feel like legends is like a word that's thrown around so much now. And like I feel
too.
That girl, that part. Let me rub my country real quick. Argentina. No, but seriously, it's like I feel like a big part of the new age drag is, you know, riding the coattails of not necessarily Drag Race, but the popularity that Drag Race has given drag, and people are showing up in Forever 21, not stone, not sequin, not nothing, with a fucking flat on, girl. What is drag in a flat? I'm sorry.
Talk about I'll take my $250 booking. Bitch, I wish you would.
Where? Like, girl.
What?
Like, I see kings in a chunky heel at least. They're even more committed. And that's what I mean. It's like so oversaturated. There's so much drag that sure all drag is valid, but not all drag belongs on a
It's
stage. Not
bookable.
all drag is bookable. Exactly. Like, girl, there's a reason why for a long time I was a bedroom queen. I want to make sure I looked right before I stepped out. Like, shit. That was
This
doing my
is,
What is it?
count in the mirror.
yeah. This quote right here, incredible. I'm not saying your name because I don't want to butcher your last name, but
B. Poyer, that's my friend.
oh yeah,
Hey, B. Love you,
hi
baby.
B. Like no auditions because it's a self-made art, which means it takes practice. Like you work on yourself for so long, and like granted, pay your dues is kind of an awkward phrase, but like at the same
But
time, like you have to support your community. You have to support
that,
what is going on. You just don't get to throw on an outfit and go $250 a show. Not the way.
Exactly. Or think that your last name, because whoever is your mother, your drag mother, is gonna get you a booking or get you a high paying booking. I'm sorry, girl. But like if all I see is you tripping, I'm not trying to pay you more than I pay my castmates that I know. I have a girl in my cast, Brandy Shimmer. She did this wig for me, this orange momentato. She's a queen. She's a queen of
Momentato.
queens. Oh, she has a momentato, honey. But she's a real queen. This girl is like 7 foot in drag. She's thickums like nobody else, and she commits. And she drives 2 hours to come to my brunch. That's commitment. That's why I pay my queens good. And that's not me trying to advertise it like, oh, come and get the booking. Because guess what? It's not about the money. It's about the commitment. That's what I want to see. I don't want somebody rocking the same pasty that I saw them perform 3 different times in. I don't want to see the same song sung by the same person in the same shake and go. Like,
sorry.
it can be a shake and go, but style it. Run some baby powder in it so it's not so shiny. Like,
Put a barrette
do
in your
the
hair.
work.
I
Do
feel
the
seen.
work. Seen and heard. We love it though. But that's the thing. Even that's the reality of it though. Look at this coiffed beauty. Look at your coiffed ass hair. This is glued, pin snatched into my head. These are extensions. Like, girl, we commit because this is what we love to do, because this is our art, but it's also our passion. People do drag because they think it's fun nowadays.
That's right.
And
You ain't clocking this because I know what time it is.
Well, and I think the biggest thing, and this to anybody who's watching, it's not meant to tear anyone down.
Exactly.
Reach out, find out ways that you can get into these shows. Don't just complain about the shows. Talk to other
Bitch about
people
it. Do
and
something
say,
about it.
hey, like where can I improve? What do you see me doing? I was just chatting with I forget who I was chatting with someone who was like, I think I want to try comedy, but I'm not sure yet. And I was like, do you want me to help you? I was like, here's some ideas. Like,
Humble yourself.
Yeah, like
Humble yourself and stay gracious.
Yeah.
Gracious
That's
and
very
humble.
important. Say
Gracious
thank
and
you.
humble.
Yeah.
Amen.
Say thank you. It's okay to be
Yo.
vulnerable. Especially when it comes to drag. It's okay to reach out to somebody and say, hey, I don't think I quite know where my niche is as far as drag is concerned. It's okay to reach out because honest to God, you're going to find somebody who is good at what they're doing and they're going to want to help you because you are interested in making yourself better.
Yeah. It's very rare to find a drag performer who's just going to look at you and go fuck yourself. Like they're going to be like, what do
they
you
do
need?
exist though. They do exist though.
They do exist.
There are those girls who, because they've been doing it, and that's the thing. Some are true legends. Some have been doing it 5 years, and because they've been doing it 5 years and they've been booked and blessed, they think that they're the grandest dame that ever was. And it's like, have some respect. You used to be that queen. You used to be the girl looking for a booking. And it's like, that's why I try
know
to
where
get,
you
like,
come from.
Exactly. Exactly.
Know where you come from.
Whether it's surgery, whether it's a certain booking, whether I've seen queens who do one pride, and they're like, I need to be paid this, and I need my own space, and I'm like, girl, you're just like me, a man in a dress. Calm down, like, and you're not RuPaul. Like, I know the woman ain't beloved anymore, but like RuPaul really did do the damn thing. She was committed. Yeah. She did it from start to finish. We all remember when she looked busted. We all remember when she looked crazy. It was the come up. And that's the thing. You need to be able to make yourself and not expect somebody that has given you an opportunity or you have come into some opportunity to be like, well, now I'm above everyone else. No, you're not. We're
No, you're
all
not.
doing the same damn thing.
No, you're
We're
not.
all dressed up in wigs, girl. Like,
Exactly.
get over yourself. Don't look down on people that were you at one point. Because I've looked to my older queens. I've looked to people in our community. That's why, you know, I love Boston. I will rep the city to the day I die. Like, even if I move out of Boston, I will always be a Boston baddie. But like at the end of the day, like, there's a reason why I started in Rhode Island, because there's this, I mean, aside from the fact that I started, you know, before I was 21, so I was able to get into the clubs in Rhode Island. But even after I turned 21, I was never given that sense of sisterhood or respect or camaraderie with queens. I was given the, and some of it's jealousy, and some of it's just grandness, and both of those need to be coming down, because we're all human beings. Bitch, I could die tomorrow. I don't care if you don't like me, or if you have a reason to not like me, fine.
That's your
But
business.
I'm the sweetest bitch you'll ever meet. There's no reason to dislike me. There's no reason to have an issue with me, whether it's my look, whether it's my talent, whether it's whatever. If that's how you feel, maybe you're intimidated. Maybe you should go back and work on yourself if you're feeling some type of way about another girl and how she presents.
I want to add one more thing. We're over 15 minutes over.
We are over time.
Okay.
We gotta go.
Important. It's all good. I want to add one more thing, and then we're going to wrap up for the night. Surround yourself with people who will tell you no. Surround yourself with people who will say, not that. Stop being around people who are just saying yes to you. Because if all they're saying is yes, that's the time to go, what else can I do?
Amen.
Like stop being surrounded by yes men. Start being surrounded by people who go, hi, not those shoes. Hi.
Thank you.
I want to.
Honesty is dying. Honesty is dying. People don't know how to
is dying.
Yep.
Like people, like that's why I say I am what I smoke, blunt, because I do not beat around the bush with people. I smoke the bush. Okay, and I'm going to tell you how it is. Before we go and before this cuts out or whatever, I got two little things to promote. First off, my brunch, February 11th at Moldova Restaurant in Newton, Massachusetts. We're doing February 11th, Sunday, 12 to 3. April 28th will be like my little birthday extravaganza, 12 to 3. That's April 28th. And also, huge shout out to all the family and friends who have supported me along this way. I don't necessarily have a drag family, nor do I have gay family, but I have friends from high school. B's one of them. God bless them. He's a talented singer. God bless my mother, because not only does she make a mean empanada, and we opened 4 restaurants together called Che Empanada, but she's out here supporting my drag and supporting, you know, queer art. And that is something that we don't always get to see, especially coming from first generation or immigrant parents. So, you know, God bless her. Thank you so much for that, because seriously, kindness is dying. Like love and honesty and truth are really slipping out of our fingers. And I feel like we need to come back to that. Like, we're a community of love. Let that love be taught. Let that love be expressed. Don't just, you know, think you're the kind one and call it a day. No, put forward that kindness. Be what you want in the world. Be what you want to see in the world.
Be the change you want to be in the world. And the people that I want to be surrounded by the most aren't the people that are going to come to me and tell me what other people are saying about me. The people that are in my circle will come to me and tell me how they defended me in those situations.
Amen. Amen. That's the damn truth. That's what
I could give a rat's ass what you say about me, because it does not define me. But when you come to me and say, so-and-so said this about you, and I read them for filth, those are my friends.
That's a real one. That's a real one.
That's a real one. Well, kids, it's been a real fun time. I am hungry as a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying. So
girl,
it's time to eat.
I need a blunty poo.
This has been such a wonderful evening. I'm pretty sure my laptop is freezing up again, so that's a fun adventure. Okay, there we go.
Okay, we're doing
it. But Mary J, this has been an absolute joy to get to know you better tonight.
Yes.
I'm so
likewise.
You're just like, I love that we are all so on the same page. Like, we went over 20 minutes over, and I don't even care.
That doesn't happen very often.
No, like,
it's because real recognizes real. Real recognizes real, girl.
Exactly. I I want to thank Amethyst. Actually, Amethyst, do you have anything to say before we part for the evening?
Yes, thank me very much. I'm just kidding. It's always good. Every second Wednesday, of every month, we get to do this and we get to gather and we get to celebrate with people who are like-minded, and do relatively the same thing that we do. And we get to see that our differences are celebrated because we come to a common place where we all agree. So the fact that we can take the time to do this and take the time to celebrate one another and take the time to put out good positivity into the world, there's nothing better than that. So thank both of you for being here tonight, and thank you for being human and for being real and being vulnerable and being different and being weird and standing up for yourself and being my friends and my drag family. So thank you both very, very much. I love you. To all of you out there that watch the show continuously and support us, we love you. We couldn't do this without you, and we do it for you. Congratulations yet again to Desi Love Blake, our newly crowned Miss Gay America 2024. I love you, and I'll see you real soon, baby. So to both of you, thank you and good night.
Muchas gracias. A pleasure, both of you. Thank you so much for having me.
You bet. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. Thank you to everybody who is watching this evening. Don't forget to go out and support local drag.
That part.
Keep going to drag shows. That stripper index is down, and when the stripper index is down, all entertainment is down. So just like Mary J's top is down. Those girls just want to get out tonight.
Listen, and these are my small ones.
Damn. But yes, keep supporting local drag. Don't forget to get your tickets for Divas Down Under. It is the first Friday of February. So we've got an incredible Love It or Leave It drag show. So make sure you come on out, because it's got me and Amethyst, our special guests, Georgia Versace Couture. Poison will be there. Katarina Couture will be there. And Peter Pansy is joining us. That will be his second time in the show. So that's going to be a lot of fun. And don't forget to follow Divas Down Under on TikTok. We have just started a TikTok.
That's right. We have a TikTok now.
Oh, yeah. We got TikToks now.
We have TikTok.
Everybody, thank you all for joining us this evening. And like I love to say, go forth and be the beauty you would like to see in the world.
Love you.
Bye.
Thank you for joining us on Inside the Drag Closet.